Hello, I am Cecilia Lemming, and for my behaviorist project, I chose to find out more about Philip Hineline, and there you can see a picture of him. The introduction, Philip Hineline is still living. He's currently a professor in the psychology department at Temple University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which, if I'm correct, that's where Dr. B earned her graduate degrees, I think. So there's a picture of Temple and the beautiful Philadelphia skyline. At Temple, he co-founded, along with his colleague, Dr. Saul Axelrod, co-founded the Interdisciplinary Master's Program in Applied Behavior Analysis. He has been the associate editor, the editor, and most recently review editor of the Journal of Experimental Analysis of Behavior. Hineline has a specific focus that you see again and again on language, specifically related to controversy regarding behavior analysis and defending the field of behavior analysis using language. He's written commentaries that clarify and defend principles and processes of applied behavior analysis. And one thing I found very interesting is, along with T.E. Boyce, he wrote an article about inner teaching, which is an arrangement for the college classroom, and it is actually the arrangement that we are using in this very course. I read several articles by Philip Hineline, and there were three that really spoke to me that I kind of wanted to include in my presentation. So these are his contributions to the literature. One of the first that I read was The Aesthetics of Behavioral Arrangements. In this article, he talks about attractiveness and acceptability being as important as results when it comes to interventions. He believes that behavior analysis need to use effective, efficient, and pleasing interventions. I have a picture here of some wood beams. They are beautiful. They're also doing an important job. And in this article, Philip Hineline made an analogy between these beautiful wooden beams and art that does a job, and how behavior analysts can use interventions that are doing an important job, but they're also user-friendly, they're efficient, they're pleasing to the people who are using them. Because if people aren't pleased about using these interventions, then they're not going to get used with fidelity. Which I thought that was an interesting article. Another article that spoke to me was Beyond the Molar Molecular Distinction. We need multi-scaled analysis. Now, I picked this because I'm kind of interested in this idea of molecular views versus molar views, this paradigm between the two. And so molecular views behavior as units occurring in moments of time that can be chained together in this link. Molar views behavior as just a continuous flow. And in this article, Hineline was kind of saying, can we have both? Are both existing? Can they occur at the same time? Can they overlap? And that's kind of a focus that Hineline had, was these different schedules and multi-scaled schedules where you're looking at various things happening maybe simultaneously, and something that he really was interested in studying. And the third article that I included here, out of the, I think, 6 or 7 that I read, is the one that he did with T.E. Boyce, and it was titled Inner Teaching, a Strategy for Enhancing the User-Friendliness of Behavioral Arrangements in the College Classroom. So it is about the college arrangement. I included a visual here and note that it is very similar to what we use with Dr. B. And I think that's by design. So we're very familiar with this idea of inner teaching, and he, as well as Boyce in the article, say, and we all know this, teaching is really one of the best ways to learn. If you teach something, it's going to stick with you. And this article helped me see that importance of the inner teaching assignments, because yes, I am learning a lot from my small group collaborative discussions. You see different people's viewpoints, things that maybe you weren't so clear on. Another classmate can help clarify. So I agree with that, and I see a lot of merit in this setup. Also, they both say, T.E. Boyce as well as Hineline, that learning is active. It's not something that happens to you. It is something that you actively do. And therein lies the inner teaching. When you are active, you are an active learner, you're speaking, you're teaching to others. And I enjoyed that one tremendously. So if I were to give a mock interview to Philip Hineline, these are the questions that I would ask. Question 1, how do you think applied behavior analysis could be used in an educational setting that might be different from what we're seeing in schools today? Number 2, which schedule or combination of schedules are most reliable when teaching a new skill to a student or client? Because that was one of his focal points, was schedules and the variability of schedules. The third question, please explain the importance of using precise terminology in behavior analysis. Why is it that giving the gist of what is occurring is not enough? And even though I have learned a lot about being impeccable with your word and using precise, explicit language, I would like to hear his explanation. What advice would you give to a newly certified behavior analyst on his or her first day of the job? This man has 50 years of experience within this field, so I think he would probably be able to give some pointers. And then I was curious to know, who are the most influential behaviorists that you would want people going into this field to study? And I already know 2 of them. One would be Skinner, another would be Baum. He references them quite frequently in the articles that I had read. In summary, and here's another picture, Philip Hineline has been a major contributor to the study of behavior analysis for 50 years. He began in 1969. He's a researcher. He's done many different experiments with animals. He's more recently become interested in working with children diagnosed with autism, as well as closed head brain injuries. And he's been doing much research throughout his time. He's been a professor. He both teaches advanced courses as well as introductory courses in behavior analysis. He's a defender of behavior analysis in that he goes into detail using that really eloquent language, defending the field, and he challenges behavior analysts to really step it up and do their best. Make sure it's user-friendly, make sure it's effective, make sure it's efficient. These are the resources that I use to conduct my research. I would highly suggest that you read some of those Hineline experiments and commentaries that I talked about. A very interesting man, very knowledgeable man, and a tremendous asset to the field of behavior analysis. And every day when we're in class, we're kind of using some of the ideas and strategies that he has purported. So have a great evening. Thank you.